N8BRO. The name here is Paul, and I'm in Pontiac, Michigan, running a Yaesu FTDX-1200. Over.
Is that a F-Tom or F-Dog?
Is that a F-Tom or F-Dog?
Pontiac Tom DX-1200. Over.
FTDX-1200, Roger.
FTDX-1200, Roger.
Roger, roger.
All right there, Paul. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system?
All right, very good. Thanks very much for the help. And I'm running a Buckmaster off-center fed dipole. It's located at 35 feet, and the tails are at 10 feet above ground level. It's been in the air about 4.5 years with no service required, and good availability across about 8 bands. Thank you very much, and N8BRO, back to you.
Roger, Paul. Sounds good. We'll go through the setup procedure and see how close you are. First is to engage your compressor at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what we need it to do.
Thank you very much. I've got the microprocessor on with the compression, and I believe I'm set in 3 bands, and a little high in the middle and tailed off on the ends. Over.
Roger. What we're looking for is the volume, the input audio level to the compressor. We only want to use a third of its capability. So if it's a 0 to 10 input level control for your compressor, we want to set that on a 3. Roger.
Roger, I'll make that adjustment. I'm currently at a 6.
All righty, I'll let you go ahead and make that adjustment.
I'm showing a 3 there. Over.
Alrighty, I'm trying to copy you now on my local antenna. I think that's going to work out. So on a 3 on your compressor, then we move to your ALC, and with mic gain in hand, adjust your ALC where it's running mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC by mic gain control.
Thank you very much. This is N8BRO, November 8 Bravo Romeo. November 8 Bravo Romeo Oscar, and I'm peaking at about 2/3. Over.
All right, sir. Now, do you know where your EQ is?
Roger, roger.
All right, let's go to EQ and tell me what its settings are.
EQ2 is at a frequency of 800 and a level of 0 and a WT8 1. Over.
Tell me, is that what kind of EQ is that? Is it a 3-band, 4-band, 10-band, what?
3-band, 4-band, 10-band, what?
It's a 3-band. Over.
Okay, so what we want to do, do you have, are these fixed EQ positions, or can you move the EQ points around?
The EQ points are adjustable, and EQ level 1 is at 0, EQ level 2 is at 800, and give me a second. EQ level 3 is at 2100. Over.
Okay, so what we need to do, you have a 3-band EQ, you have a mid-range in the middle there, and you have a top treble and a bass control. What we want to do is put that mid-range flat. The whole idea about an equalizer is that you use the top end to balance to the mid-range, and you use the bottom end adjustment to balance to the mid-range. So if you boost the mid-range, it makes it so much more difficult for the top and the bottom to catch up. So we want the mid-range to be flat. And I would say if you wanted to put an EQ frequency on that, put that at 100 cycles, at 1 kc. Put that at 1 kc plus or minus 0, flat at 1 kc for that middle adjustment. Roger?
KC for that middle adjustment, Roger.
Roger, I have the middle set at 1 kc, over.
Right, and at flat setting, neither cut nor boost. Roger?
Neither cut nor boost, Roger.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Roger, I have it. Both are set at 0.
Well, there's 3. So once you set all of it to 3, all of it to flat. Set your mid-range to flat, set your treble control to flat, set your bass to flat.
Flat, set your bass to flat.
Okay.
Okay.
Roger, I have number 1 and number 2 both set to 5. They range from 0 to 10, so I'm setting them at midpoint.
Yes, sir, flat. That would be at the middle point of the boost or cut. And so you have 3, so you have them all 3 set to flat?
Oh, you have them all 3 set to flat?
Yes, all 3 are set to flat.
Okay. You're getting a cup of coffee there. So give me 10 seconds and tell me the best thing you like about your radio.
Tell me the best thing you like about your radio.
Thanks very much. The capability on the receive to filter noise and to filter hash has been a tremendous improvement, gaining this radio in the shack over what I operated previously. This is N8BRO.
Roger, Paul. Now I want you to take your top-end treble control, and I want you to move it halfway to max. So if you're at 5, I want you to move it to 8, since we can't really find half of that. So just move it to 8, and then let me hear you for 10 seconds.
Let me hear you for 10 seconds.
Okay, very good. Again, the radio here operates very nicely and gives me a very clean receive, so I'm very pleased to have this radio in the shack. This is N8BRO.
Roger. Well, gosh, sounded really good there, Paul. Your dynamic range is 3 dB, exactly where you need to be. So your average percent of peak modulation is 80 to 85%. We touched up your top-end EQ just a tad for a little enhanced articulation. So I think that's going to be it. The rest is very nice. You're probably rolling out right at 300 cycles, thereabouts, so you don't have a really heavy bottom end, but when somebody does have a heavy bottom end, they have to have a heavy top end to make it balanced, and then it almost starts to sound unnatural. So what you have right there, I think, is just absolute perfection.
Just absolute perfection.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate all of the help, and the online support is just awesome. I will certainly leave a comment for you, and I'll be looking forward to looking at the YouTube video. This is N8BRO, and I wish you well. Have a good afternoon.
Roger, Paul. Get the Gorilla Tape out and tape her down, sir. You're right there. Perfection. This is KC9VKV, the Friday Afternoon QSOV Network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.